Hey folks, welcome back to the live stream. Another week down, another week to go. Been a long week, and I've actually managed to get a little bit of flying done this week, which I hope you all got a chance to fly. Where I'm at, it was kind of rainy and windy, but the last couple days have been pretty decent. Not great, but good enough. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. My name is Dan. Call me TweetFpv, whatever you want. If you want to know what I'm up to, tweetfpv.com, real convenient place to see all the things that are TweetFpv related. Eric Allen, welcome to the live stream. Rick Cepeda, glad to have you here as usual. RKD2 RDH Larry, welcome. Mike Bergman, welcome to the live stream. Just Mehop, nice, cool name. Rob Logan Jr., as always, welcome to the live stream. Glad you're here. And so anyways, I was mentioning before the live stream, if you can see the comments there, I need to get a cup of coffee into me. And it just so happens that a guy I work with has started roasting his own coffee. And he was just selling it to friends and family and coworkers, but he's actually started selling it like retail on the old interwebs here. His company's name is called Ruby Moon Coffee. And I haven't tried it yet. I was kind of saving it for you guys. As much as I like beer and things like that, I'll be honest, I like coffee more than just about anything else because I drink it all the time. So let's go ahead and let's make a cup of coffee. I've already got some water boiling over yonder. Very specific about how much coffee to use for a Chemex. I'm going to do a pour over style. We'll go with 36 grams of coffee. Yeah, close enough. We're not counting ounces of things that we shouldn't be counting ounces of. Get some music going on in the background. So, I don't know where all these extra beans came from, but I know what to do with them. I don't typically grind coffee by hand in my hand grinder, but this is a special occasion. I'll do it this time. So how's everybody doing out there today? Oh, coffee? Black. Black like my future, how I like my women. Bitter. I don't know how annoying that is for you guys to listen to, but it's just a Java press, real cheap but pretty good coffee grinder. I want to try BL Heli M on my Sailfly X board. Happy Model Crazy Bee F4. Where should I start with settings? I honestly don't know. I haven't messed with BL Heli M at all. Oh my God, that smells so good. Yeah, at work I typically deal with the coffee program, and I'll get those guys that are like, oh, the coffee's too bitter, or it's too like lemony flavored. It just depends on where I got the local roast from. So I always would shop from a local roaster, and then they would finish it up by saying, hey, we're out of cream and sugar too. And I'll be like, well, clearly you don't care all that much. Grinder got stuck. Yeah, black coffee is a bit of a I don't know, takes a bit to get used to, but for me it's mostly just pure laziness why I like black coffee, because there's less stuff I gotta think about. I do find myself having to detox from it every once in a while because you know, more and more and more, nothing happens. Get those crazy headaches. But I'm at the point where I'm about a pod a day. Everybody get a chance to fly this week? I really hope you did. I have been flying the 5-inch F7 steel build that I built a couple weeks ago. I was dealing with a lot of really weird oscillations on roll with this guy. This is the Banggood steel 5 frame. It's Apex Alien clone knockoff. This frame is durable as shit. Like, this thing is I have crashed it and crashed it and crashed it and crashed it hard. No wear, no tear, no issues at all. RD KD2 RDH Larry, yeah, you are 100% correct. Black coffee, tap water, and don't get fancy with your beers. Life's easier, you know. I was talking to one of my students today. I was taking him out for an upgrade flight, you know, working on his position where I work, and he asked me, like, well, how do you do this? Do you take this with you? He was asking me all these, like, tips on how to do the job, and I told him, you know what, man? Nah, don't do any of that shit. Just go and just do. Don't be that guy that's got to bring 3 bags and have special knee pads and a special glove and special glasses. Just exist. That's kind of where we are with this hobby. Everybody's asking, oh, what's the best motor? What's the best prop? What's the best controller? What's the best protocol? What's the best battery? It just is. Just fly. Nothing is going to beat. Oh, there we go. We're done with that. Just go out and fly, man. Just go fly. All right. So I prefer to do a pour over, although I'll be honest, every morning I just do a real cheapo Mr. Coffee drip coffee maker, just because it was cheap and easy, and that's what I got. But when I want to get fancy and I want a really good cup of coffee, pour over is the best way to do it. If you've never had pour over, go to Starbucks and ask for a pour over, like a fresh one, and you'd be surprised how good it is. All right, I'm gonna grab my water. Be right back. Just a kettle of water. I usually set it to boil, and go ahead and just a little bit of water just to get the grounds to bloom. You see the grounds start to just like fizz and foam. I know it's a little out of focus, and I'm not really gonna mess with it because this camera sucks to adjust. All right, over the chat here. Athex, welcome to the live stream, buddy. I've been flying a Warpig frame with Bob's new 1S baby tooth motors. I have heard good things about those baby tooth motors. A buddy of mine just got a set, and he built a toothpick with some of the older motors. He said it was never really all that fun to fly. He said now it's got some life to it. He really enjoys it. Put a little bit more water in here. Mike Bergman, building the same exact combo. Yeah, if you want to know what the best flying Cinewhoop toothpick is, Cinewhoop or toothpick, just see whatever Kebab's doing, because that guy's got a formula down and he knows what he's doing. He's got the money and the time to put behind it. Rob Logan, Twiffy, I got a build-related question for you, but I'll wait till you get your coffee and set. I'm stuck. Can't seem to find an answer to my question. All right, we'll get this brewing here in a second. Grounds have had time to bloom, and we're just gonna do a nice slow pour. I want to avoid going down the center. I'll fog up that camera, I know it. And on the side of the Chemex, there's a little button, like a little belly button on the glass. Once your water's up to about there, that's when you stop pouring. So when he was making these sample bags, my buddy that has Ruby Moon coffee, he asked me like what I like, and I typically prefer like a Ethiopian blend. He's like, I got the perfect thing for you. He gets the beans raw by the box, roasts them himself, and packages them. I think this is a Ethiopian Guatemalan blend. My least favorite is a French roast. Not a fan of French roast. I know you guys can't see it, but the bubbles have like a rainbowy color to them. Smells just absolutely incredible. I do have a French press. I do like a French press, but I definitely prefer pour over if I have the choice. The big thing with the French press I don't like is you have to get the grind just right, otherwise you're eating mud by the time you get to the bottom of the pot. So there we go. There's our pour. I'll put this back. My wife prefers cold brew coffees, and the thing we've been doing lately is we'll take the cold brew, or she'll take like a quarter cup of grounds, and she'll throw it in our Instapot. We got one of the bigger ones. Fill that sucker up with water, cook it for like 4 minutes, and once it's done, we let it cool, bottle it, and throw it in the fridge. And she's been drinking that for like the last couple of years, saving a ton of money over what she used to spend going to Starbucks. It starts off as a cost-saving measure, then you kind of figure out that it's better. It's better when you do it yourself. Oh, I can't wait for this thing to be done. All right, Eric Allen with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Yes. What is your opinion on Crossfire 8-channel versus 12-channel? I don't want to give up angle mode and get LQ and DJI OSD. Never use angle, it's just there for oh crap switch. I would stick with 8-channel. I don't know the specifics behind why it's better. I know it's supposed to be lower latency, but nobody really knows what the trade-off is going to a higher channel. But with 8-channel, I find that I can usually do, you got your 4 for your sticks, pitch, roll, yaw, so then you get 4 switches left over. So you got an arm switch, angle, and then you can do a beeper and a flip over crash. The thing that I like to do if I run out of switches is I'll put the beeper and the flip over crash on the same switch. That way all I have to do is activate it and it's beeping, whether or not I'm armed or not. So you can find ways to save on switches, or you can do combinations of switches if you have too many things to put on your available radios or your available channels. So you're passing over LQ. I'm assuming, Eric Allen, your issue is that you're passing over LQ over one of the aux channels for DJI. So you're left with 3. So you've got arm. You can do arm on a 2-position switch, angle and horizon on a 3-position, and then make like that 3rd position on that switch your beeper or flip over crash. I think you just have to find a way around your switch mapping. All right, I'm gonna get up. Oh man, that is good. That is really good. I'll probably go a little bit lighter on the grounds next time, but damn, that's good. Ruby Moon Coffee, guys. If you want to get yourself some locally roasted, local to me anyways, locally roasted coffee, Ruby Moon Coffee, tell them Dan sent you. We'll appreciate it. Barwell says put it on 12, then switch back to 8. Why? I wonder what the reasoning is for that. Yeah. But anyways, so the saga with the 7-inch, the F7 budget build, my issue was this Haifeng F7, and unfortunately having issues with it. I've been going through the returns process through Banggood. It's been a bit of a pain in the ass. Not gonna lie, mostly because I sent my request. I didn't hear anything from them for 3 days until I got an email from them saying, hey, we responded to you, you haven't responded. So you got to keep going back into the solution center and following up with them. So the issue I'm having now is I sent them video of what it's doing and black box logs, but I've also switched the flight controller out with a good one, and they want to see a video of the flight controller doing what it's doing while it's installed, and I don't quite understand what it is they're asking for. Do they want me to point a camera at the flight controller while I do a roll? I don't know. Or if maybe it's getting lost in translation. They just want to see the flight controller in the frame. I don't know. I still got to follow up on them. But, I mean, they're being responsive, but it's just, there's that breakdown in communication where I don't understand what they're asking me. And I've had to ask them to clarify a few times. Yeah, I wish all these, I mean, I know I'm living in a bubble right here, but I feel like most of these Chinese companies deal with this a lot, and they probably should have somebody there writing their manuals and dealing with their customer support that are very fluent in this, if you know what I mean. I had a JBF4 that took forever to boot up, and I've had other flight controllers do that. Are you running DJI on it, ONC? Curious. I've never had Banggood or anybody or any of these Chinese companies not honor their warranty or take care of the issues. It just takes time. It's not fast. But I know if it was like race day quads and I was within their window, it would have been like, oh, we're good. Okay, so ONC, I don't remember it, but there is a CLI command where you can punch it in and it will disable the onboard OSD. I think the issue is, I think the issue is that the OSD chip is waiting for a signal to boot up. God, I don't remember what that command was. But if you were using a non-DJI setup, it would probably be just fine. I was trying to remember. I don't remember what that is. All right, well, let's plug in a flight controller, see if I can figure out what that command was. Let me snag a flight controller. Oh, I got one right here. This is craptastic Hyphon. All right, hopefully my cameras don't die. There we go. Let's see if we can't figure out what one of these commands it was. I'm not seeing it yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. You know, go ahead and hit me up on Discord, and I'll get some more time. I'll take a deeper dive and see if I can figure out what that command was. But there is one, and this was an issue when DJI originally kind of came out. We're having issues with that. Toxic, what motors are you going to use in your Cinesplorer? Kind of curious. Robert Orlip, welcome, buddy. Beep Tube, we're just shooting the shit, having a cup of coffee. Why do my drones vibrate when fly? Oh boy, that takes the loaded question of the year award right there. There are so many reasons why Mapico Med? Sure, we'll go with that. There's so many reasons, from anything from a bent prop to poor electronics, poorly installed electronics, loose wires tapping against the flight controller, loose hardware on the frame, damaged carbon on like the arms, if you have delaminated arms, bent bells, loose batteries, flapping battery leads. There's just about everything can cause quad to vibrate. Of course, I mean, this is, I only drink like 3 cups a day. And thus. So I've been kicking around ideas. I'll back it up. So if you guys saw the video I made, God, it's got to be at least a year ago. It was kind of a parody of the How It's Made series. I did a How It's Made for how I make my radio grips. If you don't know what my radio grips are, they're things like this or like this. I'm assuming pretty much everybody here knows about my radio grips. Awesome addition to just about any radio, and I've been making them for just about everything out there except for Spectrum and Futaba, because I don't have any of those. I made a parody of how I make those grips. I had a lot of fun making the video. It took forever to make it, but I really enjoyed it. That laser cutter that I was using, that's a cheap 40-watt Chinese laser cutter, and it's called the cheap Chinese K40 laser. That's just how you would look it up. Yeah, Robert, I didn't know you did that. I've upgraded my laser. I now have an 80 watt Ohmtech with it's like a 4x4 bed on it. It's huge. It's a monster, and I'm trying to figure out what else I can do with it. And it struck me today that I think I'm going to offer a service where I will engrave your logo and FPV handle name on like one of those power-coated koozies or a tumbler, and maybe do that as a giveaway item. Thought. By the way, if anybody wants a heavily used K40, let me know. I got one for sale. Fly Turbo, welcome, buddy. Glad to have you here. Elliot Crawford, welcome. What radio do you recommend that can bind to my Emax Tiny Hawk 2 that's under 150 bucks? So under 150 bucks, how many, do you have any other quads, and do you ever plan on flying any fixed wing models? Elliot Crawford, let me know. D-term noise and the way D-term amplifies vibration can be a big deal. Yes, it absolutely can, but typically the way Betaflight is with stock everything, if you have a solid sound build, it should fly pretty much the way it should. You shouldn't really be too bent out of shape about, that's the wrong way to phrase it. You shouldn't be noticing too many issues. If you're trying to tune to the nth degree and you're asking questions about how to tune to the nth degree, just put a pack in and go fly. You'll be better by getting more stick time than you will by spending time tuning. And I know it sounds harsh and cold, but that's the reality of this hobby. Stick time is better than tuning. Ask just about any racer out there, do they tune their quads? They adjust their rates. That's about it. So every tune you have, no matter how good it is, as soon as you bend a prop, whack a tree, hit the ground, if you use more than one type of battery, your PID tune's shot. Like, if you get it to that nth degree, any little change is going to throw it off. Go fly. I'm not saying that's your issue. I'm just speaking. Yeah, Toxic FPV, if you don't know about my grips, you are missing out. You can get them here at my website. Well, not at my website, but you can find a link to them through Etsy, or you can find them at Race Day Quads or Pyrodrone. I think their search, they don't have them listed very well. Like, you can't just like scroll through radios and accessories and find them. You got to type in Tweet FPV, and then you'll see the whole catalog of everything they have. I've made a suggestion that when someone goes to click on a radio, let's say you click on a Qxev, there should be a drop-down menu for extras, sell more shit. Put grips in there, put receivers in there, Crossfire, things to, add on to the sale. But I don't know. They all said, oh yeah, that's a good idea, but I don't think I've done it. But then again, I don't know what kind of a hassle it would be to actually implement something like that. I'm sure it's not easy. Let's see, AA. Easiest way to tell if anything is loose is to hold it, different arms, and bump it to see if anything is rattling. Yeah. Also, checking for delaminated arms. You can just grab the quad and just kind of start like trying to flex the quad in the center. You'll see if you have a delaminated arm from crashing, you'll see the arms flex more than others. Also, grabbing it and twisting it like this. This is after each heat where I crash out racing. That's the first thing I do is I grab the quad and I start twisting the arms to see if one of them has more play than the other. Not that I change anything because I'm flying pretty much stock rate or stock PIDs, which can handle quite a bit of delamination on a modest setup. Elliot Crawford. Okay, so one really good affordable option is the Beta Light Radio, Beta FPV Light Radio 2. This is a pretty good radio. It's not going to be ideal for if you have more than one model. It doesn't run OpenTX, but it's super cheap. It works as a simulator. You can buddy box it. Has internal charging now. And it's a decent radio as long as you get one that doesn't have any quality control issues, which all manufacturers have QC issues. It just depends on your luck. This is a good radio. It's very cheap. If you're interested in this, check out my link, tweetfpv.com, and you can go over to Beta FPV and hit one of these. And I just dropped a review for this video as well. Not a bad option. Another good option is this is a little bit bigger of a radio, the Radio Master TX12. You're going to be able, it's going to have like that full OpenTX environment in it, where you're going to have multiple models, multiple setups. It has option for a full-size radio base or a module base, so you can add on Crossfire or Ghost or Tracer or whatever modules come out in the future for these radios. And it's it's a bigger radio. It's not full size like X9D or something like that, but it's pretty affordable and it's a good radio. I would say if you're okay with a form factor like this would be probably my choice. It does have a multi-protocol module, but you can't do things like Spectrum. It's basically FrSky, FlySky, and like Futaba or something like that. Internal charging takes two 18650s, doesn't come with those. Doesn't come with an SD card, but that's how you get all your sounds and stuff. Uses OpenTX for programming and setting up and all that. Overall, it's not a bad radio. It has a folding handle on it, which is a really nice feature. I do prefer small form factor radios because I like them to pack down nice and small in my bag. That's why I fly the Tango 2, but that's probably outside of what you're looking for in your budget. The T-Lite is another really good looking option. I have one coming. I haven't gotten it yet, but T-Lite's probably not bad. Yeah, you just want to make sure you get something that can act as a simulator or interface with your computer for doing simulator flying, which the Beta Light Radio 2 does, the Jumper TX12 does. Yeah, Mike Bergman, the old upsell. And if you're selling stuff and you're not doing the upsell, not doing all right. Rob Logan Jr., all right, Dan, so now that you've got your coffee and I got mine brewing, here's the question. I'm thinking about using this Jumper R1 receiver in my current build. It has a dedicated RSSI wire, okay? But where should I be soldering that to on my flight controller? From the research I've done, the only answer I've been able to come up with is to the RSSI pad, but this FC doesn't have one. So does that mean I just can't use it for analog RSSI? Not necessarily. You could, but you would have to lose your current meter if you had a current meter, because it has to be on an ADC, analog digital converter. You can't just do like soft serial remapping, that kind of stuff. It needs to be on something that takes an analog signal, which is RSSI. It just sends the analog voltage, and that gets converted to a digital signal for RSSI. So you could do analog RSSI, but you would have to do it through current meter. The other option you could do is you will always get RSSI back to your radio. I mean, I could take this radio and bind it up to a receiver that's just hanging out here, not hooked up to a quad, but just has power on it, and I'll get RSSI on my radio. With that, you can do the RSSI through the aux channel back to Betaflight and read it through an aux channel. That's another option. Also, FrSky has implemented in a lot of its firmware RSSI automatically getting passed on one of the aux channels. The Jumper stuff's all cloned from FrSky, which I'm sure is cloned from other stuff, but I think I would look for that once you get all set up, see if it has that feature in the firmware. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't messed with any of the R1 on any of the Radio Master receivers, but those would be my two options. Either you just get lucky and you have that automatic RSSI in your aux channels, or to pass the RSSI from the radio to an aux channel back to Betaflight to be put in your OSD. Or option number 4 is just do audible call-outs on your radio using the inbound RSSI. So like if it drops low, you can have your radio say low RSSI, or you can have it actually do count-outs. Like you can have it announce RSSI 40, RSSI 30, RSSI 20 as you step through that RSSI value from that telemetry input. Yeah, those are the options I would look at. Elliot Crawford, I was also thinking about the Qxev. Qxev would be a good option, except for it will not do D8 mode without a external RF module. Kind of like this, but just the full size. Hang on, let me grab it real quick. So I have had a couple people say that they got a external module, but they don't fit in the radios. People are buying the wrong one. Here it is. So for the Qxev, you need this guy here, the big XJT module. For the radios with the micro bay, you need one that looks like this. You can adapt a bay to fit this and vice versa with some 3D printing and all that kind of stuff, but if you're gonna go out and buy it, then why bother? So I would not purchase any of the new Access radios for flying micros with SPI boards unless you buy an external module. You can bind them on D16 with the newer radios, but in my experience and most people's experience, the range and the reception and the quality of that D16 link is just terrible. I don't recommend it. And Elliot Crawford, you're better off just buying the one with the Hall effect gimbals right out of the box instead of upgrading later. And honestly, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between the potentiometer gimbals and the analog one, or the Hall effect. The Hall effect will last longer, but I'm willing to bet 99% of the people in this hobby will never fly a potentiometer gimbal long enough for it to go bad. Robert Orlep, I've tested some of their new receivers, Rob Logan, and I got 2.4 to 3 kilometers out of them. Awesome. I just redid I'm not trying to one-up, I'm just part of the conversation. I just redid my receiver range testing with R9, Crossfire, Tracer, and Archer RS after TBS had found some firmware issues with Tracer causing poor range, and they also added a higher power output. They call it ludicrous mode, which is kind of funny. I like that. My testing the range was marginally better. I still had the first failsafe at just about at the same spot. It just didn't go solid like failsafe is early, but it still had a little blip. I kind of chalked that up to just a little micro failsafe. Ludicrous mode, it does get a little bit longer range. And I also did a 4-way shootout with all of the protocols maxed out in power output. Unfortunately, I have the V1 Crossfire in my Qxev, or my Radio Master, and it only goes up to 250 milliwatts. I should have, used the brain and used my Tango 2 so I could do the 1 watt output on the Tango 2 versus the 1 watt output on my R9M Lite Pro to kind of match it up. But I don't know. I mean, they got to find something to complain about when I release that video, so we'll see. Oh, back to the chat. And you guys are going to notice I'm going to get a hell of a lot more chattier here in a little bit. I'm already getting the cold sweats. This is damn good coffee. I'm not going to want to go back to my normal stuff. Boy, is it good. Brent, I know you're not watching this, but you did a damn good job picking this blend for me. All right, back to the chat. Oh, YouTube did the little jumpy thing. Yeah, the upsell is a lost tactic. Go to an auto dealership. They have not lost that tactic. Oh, Mike Bergman, Andy Taylor, I am lost. Andy, oh wait. Oh, sorry, Andy Taylor. I missed your little your comment there. Hey man, just bought the Qx7. Can't get to buy into my HX100 SE. Do you have a Qx7 that is Access or ACCST? My guess is it's probably an Access radio. And Andy Taylor, if you want like real in-depth one-on-one troubleshooting, please head over to my Discord server. I'm on there, and there's a ton of other guys that have heard me say the same spiel over and over that can certainly help you get set up. Head over to my website, tweetfpv.com. You'll find a link to the Discord server there. And it's a lot easier to help you out than on here because we can pass pictures and videos and whatnot. But I'll see what I can do here. No promises, though. Let's see. Does the Qx7 work with Sims? Absolutely, Elliot Crawford. It absolutely does. The Qx7, the old ACCST Qx7s does have a compatibility issue with Crossfire because it has a inverter that's too slow. Crossfire typically comes with an inverter mod that you have to solder onto the main board of your Qx7, but the Access Qx7 doesn't have that issue. So things to think about. And personally, this is just my opinion of the Qx7. I absolutely hated the ergonomics of it. If you know someone who has one, please get your hands on it before you buy it. I didn't like it. Tons of people do. It's all a personal feeling, or a personal feel. Robert Ortlip, I don't have a current meter. Okay, so you're on to option 3 and option D. It's a ACCST D16, bind it to my Light Radio 2. It's SPI FR Sky receiver. It's most likely Access. Mike Bergman says it's most likely Access D8. No, there's no such thing as Access D8. It'd be ACCST D8. But the SPI receivers can do D8 and D16. If it is binding with your Light Radio 2, there's probably two problems here. It's in D8 mode, ACCST D8 mode, which your radio will not do, but you can make the receiver do D16 through Betaflight. Or if it is D16, you have a 2.0 or newer version of the internal module firmware on your Qx7. Wow, acronyms. I need to put like a whiteboard here and draw that out. Yeah, FR Sky is the barrier to entry. Like, if you can't figure out FR Sky, then, yeah, you're not supposed to be here anyways, right? No, that's totally wrong. But it is a big hurdle to get over. And you'll get that with just about any radio. There are issues that have to come with firmware and incompatibility, but we'll get you straightened out, Andy. Don't worry about it. Whoa. It all scrolled, hang on. Andy Taylor, where's the D8 protocol on the Qx7? If you have a Qx7, it says ACCESS on the bottom of it. You do not have D8. Eric Allen, I have the light if you want to test 2 watts. Yeah. Does the Light V2 go up to 2 watts? Or is it one of the full-size modules, Eric Allen? Oh, the Jumper R1 is rebanded from HobbyMate. Interesting, okay. I was wondering who was making those things. Andy Taylor, I love it. I want to use it, so I need to get a module. Hey, y'all. Andy Taylor, not entirely true. I'm making my way through the chat. Sorry, guys, I'm a little behind here. So what's the external module called for the Qx7? It is called the XJT Light. Let me see if I can find a link for you here. or the XJT module, not XJT Lite. XJT Lite's for the small one. There you go. Here's a link to the module you need for the QX7 to do D8. If and Taylor, do I have a Patreon? Absolutely. Go to fpv.com and there's a link to my Patreon right there. Access radios do have ACCST D16. Oh, you do have a current meter. Okay. Sorry, misread that. Oh, need to refill. Get that shot right there. Oh, that's just happiness right there. And that's the other thing I like about pour over is you very rarely get like that muddy coffee ground stuff in the bottom of your cup. I do prefer pour over coffee with an actual paper filter, but I went through so many of them that I ended up getting one of the reusable things. Drone goats, I flew my whoop in the snow. What's the best waterproofing method? Did some research, MG Chemicals. 244B, is it good? Yes, it is good, but you have to apply it properly. I'm sorry I'm walking away, but I gotta show you how to do it, or the things that you're gonna need to do it properly. You are going to need the silicone conformal coating, this stuff here. You're gonna need that. And you're absolutely positively going to need something like this. This is just a UV nail drying light. And the reason you need this is because this stuff is UV reactive. You're going to slather it onto your electronics and you're going to think you have it coated. But as soon as you take this UV light and you hit your electronics with it, you're going to realize how much you've missed. So the coated electronics are going to glow, and you're going to be able to see exactly where you missed. And every one of those little spots that you missed is a spot where you're not protected. We're excited. My Chimera 4 is supposed to be here today. Oh, buddy. You're going to enjoy it. Little tip, just a tip, mind you. Before you go to fly it, you get it all bound up to your radio. I'm assuming you're going to do Crossfire. I hope you're doing Crossfire. Set up your telemetry on your radio and set up a new page that has your sat count. Take a USB power bank, something like this, and plug this into your flight control and just go sit outside for 30 minutes. It should power your receiver. Turn your radio on. You'll be able to watch and see it accumulate satellites, because that first power up is going to take 10 minutes at least to get a good satellite lock. If you hook it up with an external power supply like this, like just a USB power bank, it'll run that GPS and that flight controller and acquire satellites while you're waiting for it. And then if you're inside, you can just turn your radio on, and once you get all 8 sats or more, you can go outside and go fly. Just a little tip. Oh, where do I get that little UV light? Let's see. Let's see. What I would do is I wouldn't use that UV light that I have. That just came with came with a cell phone screen protector that you had to use the Loca glue. That's a UV-based adhesive. I would just get like a UV flashlight. I put a link in there. iWorkspace says I'm going to set up with Tracer. Good call. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Run out of space there. Oh, let's see. Elliot Crawford, but do I need it if I get an Access or ACCST Qxev? No, you won't need it. If you get an Access Qx7, you'll need it. And if you get an ACCST one, you won't. And by need, you don't need it, but yeah, jeez. So you'll be able, you can bind to these things with the Access Qx7, but it's terrible. Don't do it. Very, very few times I've actually gotten a SPI receiver that actually worked well on D16. Or you can always put in an external receiver, but who wants to do that on micro? Finding the ACCST Qx7s are kind of hard. You mostly have to find them secondhand now. Or you can go with an off-brand like a Radio Master TX12, TX16, a Jumper T16, one of the T-Lite radios, a Tango 2 with an external module bay, or external RF adapter. There's other options out there besides FrSky, but FrSky, they have some pretty cool stuff coming out. They've just announced their 4 millisecond race mode firmware for the Archer RS. If you haven't tried that out and you have a Archer RS and a Access radio, give it a shot. It's pretty impressive. I'm still in the middle of actually timing the packets with my oscilloscope on it. It's on the huge list of things I got to do besides life, family, and work. Big Spada, yeah, that's one I got with the 3800 kV motors, and I really liked it. Did you pick up the Dead Cat frame for it? I'm kind of curious. Going through the live chat here. Is the Tango 2 the best small factor radio? Well, it's my go-to radio, but there are some downsides to it. The fact that it only does Crossfire is a huge downside to it. It will do other protocols with this nasty module bay on the back of it, and then with a module attached to it. And I absolutely do not like the way Crossfire or TPS is doing their modules. They're making this big, nasty, bulbous thing when they could definitely get away with making it something like this. With a module with a form factor like that, the radio actually sits semi sort of flat. I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter. It's more or less aesthetics. But they're also making their modules this goofy shape, and they don't fit well in, or they don't fit at all in the X9 Lite without putting an adapter on them to get them to space away. But I don't know, it's hard to say. If you're going to fly Crossfire and only Crossfire, then the Tango 2 is got to be the best radio out there. But with the external module bay, a multi-protocol module, I can run Tracer, I can run D8, D16. It's certainly one of the more versatile radios out there. As far as small form factor goes, I would say a more useful and practical small factor radio would be a X-Lite or the T-Lite, although I haven't gotten my hands on a T-Lite. That looks like it's probably going to be I don't want to say it, but it's probably going to be the best small form factor radio out there. There are things that I definitely like about this more than any other radio out there. One, folding gimbal, so it packs down nice and small in my bag. And two, there's no dingus switches hanging off this thing. I've actually armed a quad in my hand. I was just leaned over and set my radio down and flipped the switch. I've had to use pre-arm ever since then because I was scared of it. There's no way you're accidentally arming with these types of shoulder buttons. Something I really like about this. So it's really hard to say. Strapelli, I'll just call you that. I just ordered a 3S 2500 milliamp LiPo for my non-2019 X9D SE that can use 3S. Can I use the same battery to power TX and run XT6 module? What module are you powering? Curious. No, Robert, the old X9D, the pre-2019 will run on 3S. Yeah, the TX16 would be a good alternative. But with that said, you're not going to ever be able to use any of the new access receivers that come from FR Sky, if that matters to you at all. And that's what will be pretty much every receiver coming out from here forward from FR Sky is going to be access receivers. The TX16 or any of the other radios probably, I'm saying probably because FR Sky or TBS proved us wrong on this one, will probably never put out a module to support access. We said the same thing about TBS never doing a way to support FR Sky receivers, but there we did. Or there they did. ONC. Oh, I need to test that out. I don't remember what we're talking about. Sorry. Back through the chat. What was his comment? Elliot Crawford, thanks for the help. Yeah, no problem, Elliot. If you have any other questions, dude, go over to Discord and get in the chat rooms there. Plenty of advice. I have a buttload of radios sitting around here, so I might be able to hook you up on one. LS, I'm in love with that X-Lite Pro. I really loved the X-Lite Pro. That was probably one of my favorite radios in the last year, 2 years. But I've had just about every radio that's hit the market, that, you know, mainstream radios. Right now, the two that I go back and forth between is the X9 Lite and the Tango 2. Rick Cepeda, I got the regular frame. The Dead Cat is on my list, though. Full-size Crossfire module. Yeah, you'll be fine. Pretty sure the full-size Crossfire module will take that kind of voltage. Let's see. Input voltage 3.5 to 13 volts. Yeah, 3S will be just fine to power the full-size Crossfire. The thing you got to watch out for is R9. The older pre-2019 R9 modules would only take 2S input from an external source, but they would accept being plugged into a X9D that had 3S internal power. Kind of a weird thing. I think the 2019 and newer modules will do 3S externally. Elliot Crawford, so can you bind the Tiny Hawk 2 to the TX16S without any external modules? Yes, you absolutely can. And that gets us caught up to the end of the chat. Man, that took a while. Good questions, guys. Really, really good questions. For the second time since I have been supporting the FPV Crate Sub 250 box, they actually sent me 2 boxes at the same time. Only one other time they actually got this right. Every other time I've had to be like, bro, you forgot my second box. Because according to them, I am the only person that orders 2 at once. One for me, one for you. Remember how this works. So I haven't opened these yet. Kind of curious what's in there. I haven't seen anybody else open up, not that I've looked. But I plan on doing the unboxing of this probably after this live stream. And of course, I'm going to give the other box away probably in a couple weeks here. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I don't know. I got a feeling there's motors in there, but that's just a guess. But I am now one of their affiliated vendors for the Sub 250 boxes, or for the FPV Crate. So if you're interested in getting an FPV Crate or getting a subscription to this, please go to tweetfpv.com and you'll see this icon on there. Click that, and that'll take you to their website, and whatever you purchase will show up as a commission for me. You know, it'll justify their position for making me an affiliated vendor, which took a while, to be honest with you. I've been doing FPV Crate since day one. I did a year on the full-size crate, which was good. There was just a lot of filler in there. And then I've been on the Sub 250 kick for 7 months, basically since they started it. And these things are where it's at. The Sub 250 crates, there's no BS in it. There's no filler. It's everything you need, and no like extraneous LEDs or bags of peanuts and garbage. Like, the price is lower, so they really need to streamline what goes in there. You're not going to get any like FPV quad stands and stuff like that. X-Lite Pro is my radio. Yeah, that's what I had, was the X-Lite Pro. Well, actually, I had the regular X-Lite, and then I had the X-Lite Pro in blue. I really liked that radio. That was nice. I really like the small form factor radios because when I travel, I like the radio to not take up the majority of what's in my bag. Let's see, radio history. Started off with a FlySky, FSI-8, then Qxev, X9D SE. After that, I went X-Lite, then X-Lite Pro. Nirvana changed me from a pincher to a thumber. Really missed that radio. Then, let's see, after that I went with the X9 Lite. Really like that radio. I still fly that one. It's not out here. Then the Tango 2. I do have a lot of other radios. I usually get them just to build up templates for doing the radio grips. And then for testing in the future. That's how I'm doing my 4-way receiver testing, is I've got 4 radios lined up on the fence post out back when I do that. KD2RDH Larry that's a good question. You talk about how you became an affiliated with vendors. How do you get noticed, or did you approach vendors? Just trying to decide how to go about making my big baller moves. So it's interesting how it happened. The first vendor to contact me to say, hey, we've seen your videos. We like what you're doing. Do you want to try doing a review for us? Guess who the first person or the first company was? I'll give you guys a second. Some of you guys probably already know. I think I've talked about this before. Eric Allen. Nailed it. Bangers. Bangers is the first company to give me a shot. Started off with reviewing the Qxev baby turtle. That was the very first affiliated review I had ever done. And I think I was only at maybe 1,500 subs. But it's not about sub count. It's about watch time. And there's a website called Social Blade. You go there, you punch in anybody's YouTube information, and it'll show you like all the stats. Don't pay attention to what the the revenue stream is, because that is complete bullshit. I think it says I make $1,000 a month on YouTube. It's more like a hundo. It ain't shit. It doesn't cover my Epidemic Sound subscription and Adobe subscription. Just putting it out there. YouTube's a terrible place to make money. So Banggood was the first one to contact me, and then you really got to be patient and work with these companies. They're going to ask you, hey, what do you want to review? Pick something, be modest about it. Don't go, hey, I want to review this $2,000 quad on my second time around. No, you got to work your way up. And you got to be prompt. You have to produce good content, like good quality reviews, and be like responsive. Like, you get the product, that should be the next thing on your to-do list, is to review that product. Because when they send it to you, you owe them a review. They're not going to do anything about it if you don't give them one, but you won't get a call back. I can damn near guarantee it. There's only been one product that Banggood sent me that I did not do a review on, and that was that piece of shit. Cadex Dolphin camera. I didn't even want to waste my time on a review. I told them, like, no, absolutely not. And they were like, okay, cool. Our sales show that we shouldn't bother. So, Banggood was the first company, and then I'll be honest, that's the only company that sends me. Well, no, I take that back. FR Sky started sending me. They sent me a receiver to review, and we've been talking about some other things and product testing, firmware testing, things like that. But I'll be honest, I don't have other companies sending me stuff for review. Almost everything you see on my channel is purchased, like these. I buy 2 of these every month. It gets offset by Patreon accounts. So patrons up there at the top, thank you so much. You guys are what keeps this going. YouTube ad revenue is not what people think it is, or maybe it is what people think it is, and it's shit. So from there, let's see, how's this go? Let's see. So there's always Amazon, Amazon affiliate links. That's a couple bucks a month here and there. Banggood affiliate revenue is pretty good, but that's because you got to think outside of your world. If you're in the U.S. or the Norte America, think about the rest of the world. You got to advertise Banggood, because that's where a lot of people. That's about the only place they can get products from. Speedy Turtle, welcome to the live stream. He has on his Patreon, he's given away a CL1 frame or a Emax Tiny Hawk Freestyle. So go check out his Patreon over there. Speedy, hit the link. You know what to do. So let's see, how'd it go from there? Oh, so then I started making the Fpv Radio Grips. I started doing that about a year ago, and I'm selling those on Etsy. And that's a very popular item. Unfortunately, I designed them too well, because people don't rebuy them unless they just want to switch up colors. There's another person out there making a radio grip for the Tango 2, but their design makes it so anytime you open the radio up, you have to destroy the grip. It's just choices. So I was doing that for about a year and getting a lot of traction. And then Flying Sandal FPV, he hit me up. And if you haven't seen his products, I got one right here. Let me go grab it. Not that you're going to stop me from going to get it, but just please don't click away when I walk away. That's why I love a wireless lav mic, because I can keep talking to you guys while I'm not in frame. He made this, and this is a 1S serial charger, not parallel, serial charger. Really good idea. This thing is awesome. Should I give this away today? You guys want to do a giveaway today? $3 super chat. I'll give you one. I'll give you this and a set of grips. Anyways, I was talking to him, and he told me, "Hey, I've been baking these things in my basement, And I just contacted Race Day Quads, and they said, hey, yeah, we'll stock a bunch and we'll sell them. So I emailed Race Day Quads, said, hey man, I make these radio grips. Curious if you guys like to purchase them and sell them on your website. They're like, absolutely. So they purchased a buttload of those things, and they've been selling them kind of here and there on their website. And if we go back to earlier in the stream, I talked about the How It's Made spoof or parody video I made. That all started when Aaron Ciotti ordered a set of grips for his Qxev about a year and a half ago. Aaron Ciotti, I had heard his name a few times. I know Bardwell talked to him. I saw him in a few Rotor Riot videos or something like that. And I knew of him. He was doing a little bit of live stream back then. So I sent him the grips. He emailed me. He's like, dude, these things are awesome. They look sick. I'm like, hey man, you're doing live streams. Give away a set. Give away a set. So he gave away a set on a live stream. Started doing the super chat giveaways. And I'm like, every time you do giveaways, just give away a set. I don't care. Give away a set. I got a lot of exposure doing that. People started going to the Etsy shop. The name was getting out there. He knew some people over at Pyrodrone, said, hey, Pyro guys, you might want to carry these grips. So they contacted me, or Serge contacted me, or at least somebody using his email account contacted me. I'm not sure. I'm sure it is Serge though. He contacted me. He wanted to start stocking the grips. He's a vendor now. With that, I don't know, the subscriber count and the view count kind of snowballs as you go. It's really hard to explain. With the FPV crate, just getting an affiliate count, it's a lot of like talking to them, like just being honest and humble. Like, hey, I have been supporting you guys for a long time. You don't owe me. I don't owe you, but I would like to have it. I would like to be an affiliate, and you know, if you're doing well and you're doing good content, then it's usually a no-brainer for a lot of these companies. But you do typically have to ask. Eric Allen on the board, $3. Thank you, my man. Let me start up a wheel here. Wheel decide. No, not wheel decide. I don't like wheel decide anymore. Wheel names. There we go. I don't know. Has that answered your question? I don't even know who asked that question. I'm sorry. Sorry, RD2, RHD Larry. Yeah. Banggood affiliate account. Damn near anybody can make one. I think I had an affiliate account before they even started sponsoring me. Yeah, Rob Logan. Sorry. Yeah, doing grips and a Flying Sandal 1S serial board. Market Zero on the board. Thank you, my man. Thank you. All right. Yes, I don't know if that really answered your question. It's a grind. Like, this is I wouldn't say it's a full-time job. It's definitely a part-time job. I'm definitely not making a living with it. I'm not paying any bills. I'm just offsetting the habit. You know, my brother had a theory a while back. If he buys weed by the quarter pound, he found out that if he breaks it up into smaller quantities and sells it to his buddies, that he can kind of offset what he smokes. Damn, that coffee was good. Oh, man. All right, back to the chat. Wow, that took me a while. Taco's Drone Shop rules. Taco's Drone Shop. Let's go to Taco's Drone Shop. Let's see what we got here. I see an Instagram. KD2 RDH Larry. I'm going to get that right one of these days. Banggood's the only one I'll be associated with. But yeah, the Banggood associate program, it's not bad. With them in the last 2 years, I think I've had 5 different reps there. They go through them like underwear. Most of them, I think, start off at like an associate level, and then they move up. And like the person I'm going through now is the same person that Kebab goes through, the same person that a lot of reviewers go through. So you gotta keep that in mind. You're not the only person out there, and you're not that important. I'm not that important. There's a lot of other people out there. Robert Logan, wait a sec, are you? Oh yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, I have absolutely no problem talking about this. I have had a few people just recently contact me on like Instagram wanting to know if it's a good idea to buy subscribers. And I'll be honest, that seems like a terrible idea. If you have to buy subscribers to get to the point where you have a monetized channel, it's not going to last. Like there is no express lane to doing this. I think artificial inflation will stagnate. It's a grind, and even if you do get the 1,000 subscribers to become monetized, you still need the content watch numbers. So there's no shortcut to it. Rob Logan Jr., $6. Thank you very much, brother. We'll drop you on the wheel twice. Oh man. Yeah, unfortunately, YouTube will not allow you to post links. Tacos drone shop. Let's see if we can. Is that Taco RC store? Curious? Is it Taco RC store? Taco FPV? Because I found that. No. I am not finding a link to it. Tell you what, I will make you a mod real quick there, Taco. Go ahead and drop that link in there. And we'll go from there. Rob Logan Jr. asks, how is the fun wheel build? The fun wheel build is pretty much complete. I've just been dicking with the tune on it a little bit here and there. This is what I had going on this morning. This is the kid practicing on the fun wheel. She's really liking the pint, but yeah, she likes it. The fun wheel build, it was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed the build process, learned a lot. But for the price that I got, for what I've got into it, I'd just say go out and buy a pint, unfortunately. It's Darts, $9.99. Thank you so much, buddy. My day is definitely warmer than yours. Let's see.
In mobile right now, it's 64 degrees. By the way, I can give you lots of information about your day. I'll send you a notification with more to try.
Yeah, shut up. So it's pretty nice out right now. It's not like sunny, it's kind of overcast, but it's pretty nice. It starts. Let's pop you up there for 3. There we go. Dustin Gamble, yo, what's going on? Running late, waiting on stupid mailman. Yeah, I find a lot of days just waiting for the post office. I said in like the one vlog I did, that's my favorite person that I see quite often is the mail delivery lady. She's finally asked me what it is that I do, because she picks up and delivers packages all the time, and she sees my logo on there, and I explained it to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, my son is getting into drones." I'm like, "Oh, well, here's a sticker." You know, it's kind of funny. Small world. KD2RDH Larry, I'm getting better at it. I like how you have your stream set up screen-wise. Having the comments show up on screen is a real nice feature. Yeah, I really like that, because if I trim any of this, you lose the entire live chat, the one that's baked into YouTube. And if I want to take a section of this and put it as like a short, yeah. Also, YouTube is starting some new features like clipping. It's not rolled out to everybody, but they have it where they're going to have it where you can take a part of a video or of a live stream, and any one of you watching can like take a couple second clip and post it. I got a feeling most of the time it's going to be used to quote people saying stupid shit. Unfortunately, we'll see. Yeah, it's nice when people recognize me. There's a guy over at the Svela 5 group over in New Orleans. Oh crap, I'm terrible with names. He's a really good racer, and he came over to one of the Delta 5 races, and he heard my name. He's like, "Are you that guy?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, I've been following you for a while." It was kind of cool. It was neat. Yeah, got lights on there. The front foot pad where all the electronics are, that thing is crammed, packed full of stuff. There we go. Let's hit this website. Yeah, that doesn't seem to work. Come on. Oh, wow, that took forever. All right, let's, is this the right button? Let's see, Chrome. There we go. That took just too much. Taco's Drone Shop. Customized drone parts, drone repairs. It's an interesting service for drone repairs. So he's doing RTFs. It's an interesting frame. $320 for an RTF that's custom built. That's actually not that bad. Velux motor's not a bad motor. Far too heavy for what they are, in my opinion, at least. Neat little drone shop. I'm curious if they have all this stuff in stock or if they're just a middleman ordering in between. It's not a bad price for a lollipop. I'm really interested in this type of motor, except for it doesn't look like you can actually order anything. Interesting. So I don't know if this is like a developing shop. Like you can't Interesting. There was a small drone shop that I kind of got involved with early on, and I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, but it didn't last. It was very difficult for them to keep their stock in. They would do basically group buys, and then it was like a WhatsApp group where you would just get a discount on a group buy. That was most of his business. Negative 28 this morning, and that's in the metric units. That's cold. That is damn cold. $64, yeah, it's pretty nice out. Went for a run this morning with a t-shirt and shorts. A little windy though. I have flown from my car when I go back home to the old Dirty D. A little bit less reception, less range, but it's nice. I always jump in the passenger seat just so I have some room in front of me. Plus, if the fuzz messes with you, you could say, well, I'm not in the driver's seat. Not that I think it's going to help you at all, but I've never been bothered. Let's see, what do I think of the Mobula 6 25,000 kV motors? If you're looking to buy a micro, and micro is 65 inch, or sorry, a whoop is 65 millimeter, that is my go-to acro outdoor flying whoop, is the Mobula 6 with the 25,000 kV motors on it. You need to upgrade to 48 kilohertz PWM frequency on the ESC, and you got to replace the frame. But just fly it a little bit, you'll crash it, break the frame, and then replace it. Replace it with the Beta FPV Meteor frame. That frame is durable as hell. Oh, T-Bird, what's up? Just leaving Ciati's. How's your weekend been? It's been great. I forgot you're local with Ciati. Good dude, man. I really hope that at some point I get to meet up with Ciati and hang out, you know. Well, let's see, how does flying from your car work? Also, video signal okay? It's not bad. I've seen people make like extension cables for their receiver antennas, but try to fly out in front of you and expect reduced range. But you're going to get reduced performance because it's typically cold out anyways, so it's kind of like everything's kind of stacking on top of each other. That thumb ring though. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only person who was thinking that. So Taco FPV, is this your site? I'm curious. I would assume so, just because of the name and whatnot. Yeah, T-motors are hogs. Speaking of motors, I settled on a motor for my my glide build, and it's going to be these. These are the T-motor smooth 2306 and a half motors, and just for reasons, with full wires and a rubber band. 33.6 grams. So they're not the lightest motors in the world, but for $100 for 8, man, that's like Sam Gook motor pricing. That's hard to pass up. The Emax Eco 2s, these have been great motors. These are fantastic. I have these in the 2306. I think I got the higher kV. These were, yeah, the 1900 kV on 6S. These are really nice, like really great throttle resolution at like lower RPMs. I really like that. Really like them. I had the Mobula 6 HD and I was not impressed with it. I flew it a bunch of times. I tried tuning it. I never really got a good tune on it. I ended up gutting it and turning it into a 75 millimeter whoop. But yeah, those 25,000 kV motors are power hungry. That 48 kilohertz PWM frequency mod for the ESC definitely makes it better. You can get about 3 minutes on them, but those batteries are going to be, you're going to go through batteries, not just short flight times, but you are going to destroy batteries if you're really getting on it. But the way I look at it, if you're out flying, fly to your fullest potential. The heck with the gear, especially 1S lipos. They're dirt cheap. Putting a better connector on them, the XT30s, the BT 2.0s make a big difference on those micros. At least in my experience, big difference. Yeah, you know, it's a little bit of, I mean, you're supposed to be flying with somebody else anyways, right? A spotter, right? Sorry, I had something in my eye. Supposed to be flying with a spotter anyways, so put them in the driver's seat. It starts, but did make it work better outside. If you're talking about with the extensions, yes, it does work. It does work better, but not good enough that, I don't know, it didn't work good enough for me to really justify it. Arnob Vlogs, yo bro, I'm late. Oh, better late than never, right? Is that what we say? Glad you're here, man. Thank you. Lucky to get 2 minutes on a 300 milliamp, and that's on the HD. The HD, I've been trying to make a good HD hauling 1S 65 millimeter, and it just, you could do it, but they never have the authority to haul the weight around. 75 millimeter is about the bare minimum on 1S. So I want to make that clear, 1S. Gary Higgins, I just sold all my analog stuff to buy all new gear. Should I stay analog or go with DJI? I have heard good things about with Orca. Just wanting your advice. All right, that's loaded question number 2 of the night. Gary Higgins, analog is here to stay. It ain't going anywhere anytime soon. If you're flying micros and racing, analog is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. But with that said, with DJI, you could still use analog. You can add a analog module adapter to it. And I challenged myself. I set my goggles out to be my Orcas out to be Cerakoted by a guy out in Orlando. I was without these for a month. So I figured that was put up or shut up time. We're gonna fly nothing but DJI. Let me go get it. I'll be right back. It's, you know, everybody likes a visual representation of what you're talking about. So let me go get my DJI goggles here. So it was put up or shut up time. So I flew for a month with nothing but my DJI goggles. But I've also got rapid fire in there. And I'll be honest, going back to the Orcas, the screens are better in the Orcas. The fit is so much better on the Orcas for me. But if I didn't have the choice, I'm perfectly fine with these. The screens aren't the best. The DVR is not the best. But there's something that these can do that this, as far as I'm concerned, will never do. And that's HD. Once you start flying HD, like all my acro quads, 5-inch acro quads, they're all HD. It is very, very hard to go back. The thing I didn't like about a lot of the module adapters, they were just bulky, cumbersome. They didn't fit in the bag. They just took too much space. There was a guy on YouTube or on eBay. Let me see if I can find his listing. He contacted me out of the blue. Let's see if I can find his listing. I don't know if he's still got it on here. Bear with me, guys. It's sucked into the... Here we go. All right. Here's the link to the adapter I used. This is, you know, that link probably won't work because it's too long. me get the item number. How do I share? All right, so here's the eBay number. Oh, the link works good. I thought it ran out of characters. It's stupid that YouTube puts a limit on me for characters I can put in there. Like, why? Why YouTube? What's it really do? Anyways, extremely low profile. Look at that. It barely sticks out from the original lines. This is a lot more involved to install. And it's SLS nylon. Extremely durable, expensive, but this is the right way to do it. There's a lot of other adapters out there that are just kind of BS. This makes it the most integrated into the goggle out of anything I've ever seen, or still to date. What the hell were we talking about? I just I saw a squirrel and went sideways. Jeez, what? Oh yeah, that's right. We're talking about orcas. So if you're going to have one set of goggles, it's these, because these are going to do digital. Orca has been talking and hinting about digital forever. Nobody's going to catch up to DJI. They have the capital, the testing, and the resources that all these other companies just do not have. I had Bitefrost, which was great. Bitefrost would be great for racing, but it's nowhere near the quality that you'll get out of DJI. I have the Shark Bite system. I still haven't gotten around to setting it up. It's going to be a lot like the Bitefrost, except for it's just a smaller package now, with the video receiver not being a standalone screen module deal. Yeah, I really enjoy DJI. Oh yeah, that's right. These are the V2 goggles. If you guys couldn't tell by looking at them, so that V2. V2's that was a disappointing release. Let's see. The 8-pack, I haven't installed them yet, so I'm not entirely sure, Robert. But 2306 and a half, they got to have a ton of pop to them, I would assume. Yeah, once you put DJI on, you won't go back. If you're interested in DJI and you're not ready to buy it, don't fly it. Ignorance is bliss. Trust me. Don't fly it. Arnav vlogs Mamba F405 iFlight Success E F4 stack. Which will you choose? I'd probably go with the man, that's a toss-up. They're both extremely good stacks. I'm kind of partial to iFlight gear, but I don't think I've ever heard anybody have any issues with the Mamba F405 or the ESCs that come along with it. Honestly, whichever one's cheaper is what I would go with, because they're both really good. Probably the, oh man, I don't do F4s anymore. Or full-size flight controls. I do 20x20 on everything. For 20x20, iFlight has got some of the best stuff. Probably the Mamba F405 stack. That, if I had to pick one, someone said pick one, that's probably what I would go with. But it's such a crapshoot. It's just price, whichever one's cheaper is what I would go with. It starts, decide 1S isn't worth the HD. I'm not making YouTube vids with my 5-inch 6S, let alone 1S. Yeah, good point. DJ is the heroine of FPV, basically. Yeah, pretty much. That's, yeah, like, just out of the blue, DJI comes by, it just says, oh yeah, cool little hobby. Here you go. We have this. Enjoy. Give us money. They're expensive, but by the time you start getting into orcas, it's a wash. In the long run, the orcas are going to be cheaper, just because. Oh, I ran out of music here. I need to add more stuff. All right, let's try something new. Hopefully this doesn't blow your eardrums out. There we go. You can build up analog gear a lot cheaper than you can build DJI gear. DJI is pretty much, you have like 3 or 4 options. You have the full-size area unit, and you have like 2 Caddx Vista. You have the Caddx Vista, you have the Vista Pro, and then you have, I think Eachine made one for a little while. And that's about all you get. With analog, you can find some dirt cheap cameras. You can find very cheap VTXs. Like if you're racing and all you need is 25 milliwatts, then why are you putting a Caddx Vista in there, which weighs a lot and can go up to 1.2 watts? But also, if you get the controller, then you're not messing with receivers anymore, or wiring receivers, because it's all already in the air unit and the Vistas. It's a big there's a lot of decisions to be made, choices. Yeah, Robert Orlov, it is expensive to get another air unit. Chris Croft, I use a BDI adapter on my DJI goggles. BDI adapter is about the easiest way to do it. I built something like the BDI. There's 3D prints on Thingiverse long before the BDI came along, and it's easy. It's a no solder, no hack method for doing it. I'm not worried about voiding any warranty. It's not a thing. But I do prefer having the much lower profile. This fits with the module and the antennas on it like it is in the original bag that this came with. And if you haven't noticed, like low profile, sleek, small is kind of my thing. Tweet, when's the next meet? I haven't done any meet and greets. I kind of want to when the weather gets better. And so the issue is with my employer. They're very controlling about what I do outside of work. I can't eat indoors in a restaurant. I can't have people over that aren't part of my family unit. Lots of other things. So until that stuff gets lifted, there's not really going to be any meet and greets. I do race at Battleship Park in Mobile, Alabama. The second Saturday of every month, we do a race. I shall be there for the next one in February. So keep that in mind. That's the Delta 5 multi-GP group. It starts, I use the BDI 2. The cables are kind of a mess compared to the Tweet setup, but no hardware mods to make it. Yeah, that's the trade-off. If you want the sleekest way with no cables, that's this. But inside of here, I had to put a 5-volt Maytech back in there and do some soldering on the main board, which if you can build quads, you can do this, no problem. What's the point of F7? What features can be added with that? So the big deal with F7 is you have hardware inversion, so you don't have to have a specific pad with a hardware inverter on it for doing like S-Bus. Any UART can be inverted inside the MCU. Typically F7s have way more UART. So if you have an F4 and you want to do S-Bus, S-Port, you want S-Bus receiver, S-Port telemetry, GPS, and smart audio, typically you're not going to get it without having to use soft serial on an F4. F3s are just dead. Don't buy an F3. And what's going to happen probably in the next year is you're going to see Betaflight dropping features for F4 based flight controllers because they're going to run out of memory and CPU cycles. So F7 is going to be where the next innovations in Betaflight and flight performance come from, is having that extra headroom. And then we're going to start getting into H7s once we use up F7s, but that's going to be a couple years down the road. Eric Allen, nailed it. Faster processor, more UARTs. See guys, this is how my Discord server goes. I go to work for an hour and there's like 40 messages back and forth. Somebody asked a question and these guys are on top of it. And I'll just kind of come in there and snipe the low-hanging fruit here and there. But God, the community behind this hobby is amazing. And this is why I love the live streams too. Just being able to interact kind of in a live format. Chris Cross, some people said the V1 have all the hardware from the V2 and they could just do a firmware update. No, that's not true. The V1 does not have the 2.4 gigahertz RF stuff in it. So that's not going to be true. DJI has said that they're going to continue with firmware updates for the V1. I mean, these are V2, right? No. They're going to continue with the firmware updates with the V1 while also doing the V2 stuff. So these aren't dead by any means. I'm still interested in what exactly the 2.4 gigahertz communication is in the new V2 goggles. That, depending on what that is, and if it's what I'm hoping it is, that might actually sway me away from the V1 to the V2. But damn it, they should have put OLEDs in the V2. They really screwed that one up. If that was the only thing they did was put OLEDs in there, they would have, oh man, that's what everybody was holding out for. Everybody said, oh, I'm going to hold out for V2, OLEDs. Holding out for V2, OLEDs. No, it sucks. The V2 goggles have slightly, I don't know if it's better resolution or bigger screens. I'd have to look through the specs page, but I do think they have a higher refresh rate. I don't think they have any better resolution. I could be wrong on that. I'd have to read. Mike Bergman, no kidding, that's crazy. Sure, I don't remember what we're talking about. DJI seems to me to be about good flying and good results. Analog says hobbyist fun. To me more. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, if you want the easiest, if you're going to build a quad, you want the easiest setup, or if you're going to buy a bind and fly, the easiest way to do it. Buy a bind and fly that has a Vista in it, buy the DJI goggles, and buy the DJI remote. It's like setting up a Mavic. Turn the quad on, push the bind button. Push the bind button on this. Cool. Push the bind button on the quad, push the bind button on the radio. Cool. Go fly. That's it. I do have the DJI remote. I use it for a few things. I use it for my my Cinesplorer just because I didn't really want to bother putting a receiver in it because there's one already in it with Vista. Marvin C., I live in Mobile and just want to come watch. Dude, come on down. So it will be on February 13th. We usually set up the track around 8, 9 o'clock. Races start at 9-ish, depending on the weather. We also do a micro series. We didn't do it this year. The Rona has caused... The Rona's killing our hobby because nobody's really getting together to go fly. But yeah, if you want to come out, come on out. Just remember the Battleship takes cash only for parking. I think it's $4. Cash only. And the lady at the front gate, if you she will hunt you down. She's mean. She's mean as hell. Let's see. Oh yeah, Mike Bergman, unfortunately, is what it is, and I don't have a choice, so I don't go. It doesn't bother me. Software inverter, not hardware. Correct. F4 needs a hardware inverter. F3 and F7 do it through software, through the MCU. Soft serial multi-mill. Geez. I remember when I was a kid, all the cereal we got came in the big cellophane packs with like the off-brand names like Admiral Crunch, you know? Never got the stuff in the box. Solid dad joke. I believe there was a filing for the 4.2 FCC stuff. I don't know if it actually got certified or not. But if you haven't heard my hopes for the 2.4, here's what it is. I can't go to a multi-GP race and fly with these, with digital. These cause far too much interference with other analog pilots. Analog was here first. They get the right of way, as far as I'm concerned. Any analog pilot that gets video reception issues, whether it's there or not, they're going to blame whoever's flying digital. It's just the way it works. These things need to stop transmitting. these things should be, I power up once, I talk to the VTX, and I set the channel. Power up, listen to the band, set the VTX, and then stop talking. Stop doing telemetry. Then you'll actually be able to fly with analog quads. This is something that DJI could absolutely do just with a software firmware update. If they did that and made it so I could go fly in a multi-GP race with 7 other pilots, which you absolutely can do with these, that would give them a very strong foothold in the market, especially for people who race. I can't recommend these for anybody who races in a group setting, because unless everybody's using digital, it's not going to work. Oh, let's see. Back to the chat here. Rob Logan Jr., did you just get my question, bro? Ooh, probably did. Not on purpose. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't see it. YouTube did the thing where the chat scrolls. Let's see. Hey, so back to the question I had earlier. Is this the current sensor I have? Let's see what we got here. That is the current sensor I have. This is the current sensor I have. Okay. I'll connect the RSSI wire. Oh, this. No. So this is if you don't have a current sensor built into the flight controller. This will, you would have to wire this from, you'd have to run a wire from this to a ADC on your flight controller. Yeah. So I had one quad. It was a Diatone 349, one of the GT349 that didn't have a current sensor. So I added this and then ran a wire from the current sensor to an ADC that was on the board. I think that the flight controller may have had a current sensor, but it didn't have a current out on the ESC. So that's what I used that. Analytics chart, yeah. Let's see. Let's go to now trending. Rob Logan, what flight controller do you have in this build? Probably should have started there. What flight controller? Market Zero asks, best nano cam for indoor flying, the Runcam Nano 3. But then again, I am a Runcam snob. Not snob. I prefer Runcam cameras over everybody else. Something about the color reproduction. It's just the ones I like. The Nano 4, if you can fit it in your build, or the Nano 3. For all my racing quads, I use the Racer series. The Qxev's not a bad camera. It's just been hit or miss with Caddx lately. If they work well, they usually are dirty on the inside. So pretty much every Caddx camera is either got dust on the lens or they're not focused. The last one I took off had a big grubby fingerprint on the inside of the lens for some reason. Like, how does that happen? How many names on the wheel? Wheel of names. Here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 specific names, but we got a couple doubles up there. Yeah, Rob Logan, if you haven't posted what the flight controller is, you may have, I may have missed it, and if I did, I'm sorry. Post the flight controller on here. I want to see what connections you have. I might be able to help you out a little bit better with that. Oh, and what's up for grabs? It is, it's going to be a Flying Sandal 1S serial charging board and a set of grips. I'm using the iFlight Sussex E. All right, let's see what we got going here. Sorry, I really should have just started with that. Let's take a look. Holy, zoomed in, jeez. Oh, it's PDV. What ESC are you going to use with this as well? That's my other question. And I know what iFlight's doing. I just hate the way they're doing it lately. Like, they need to just, well, I guess this will work here. So you can go to this pad right here where it says current. You can run that wire into there from your RSSI, but you won't be able to get current from your ESC then, which I don't know if you really want it or need it. Well, sorry, that's the ESC. You're going to want to go from there to here, to current. Yeah, so this only has 2 ADCs. This actually might be an ADC, this camera control. That would, oh yeah, that's probably going to be your best bet. So the camera control, for the most reliable camera control, you got to go with an ADC, an analog to digital converter. So that might be the sweet spot there. But it's hard to tell until you do it, and then you have to do the resource reassignment in Betaflight, which is pretty easy to figure out. Just type of resources, just scroll through there until you find one for camera control and assign that to RSSI. T-Bird, how do I get in? We're doing $3 super chats. Okay, yeah, you're probably not going to want to lose your current sensor. If you don't plan on using camera control, that's the pad I would try using. I'm assuming that's going to be an ADC. Even further into this, what you could do is you take whatever it says on top of the MCU, so it's going to be F722 and then a bunch of other numbers, punch that into the Google machine, get a pinout of the F7 flight controller, read on the pinout chart what is an ADC, check from that pin to that CC pad. If those two have continuity, then you know that that's an ADC. You can then use current control pad, camera control, wow. Use that camera control pad as your RSSI input. Or you can do the other methods by passing RSSI back from the controller to Betaflight through the RC signal, and then just clip that RSSI wire all together. Fly Turbo Quad, $9. Kentucky stand. It's I don't know what that equals. I'm not going to figure it out, so we'll just do it. Yeah, and if you need some more help, definitely hit me up on Discord with the resource reassignment and all that stuff, and I can probably try to, if you give me the number off that F7 processor, I can probably try to figure out which pin you want to check for continuity on for an ADC. But I'll be honest, probably if this were my build, I would pass RSSI back to Betaflight through an aux channel. That is the easiest way to do it, and that's the way I would do it. But that's just me. It is yeah, it's going to be the easiest way to do it, unfortunately. And you know, even on that that MCU, there may be an extra pin that's not broken out that is for RSSI input. And if you're really wanting it, you can go in there and, you know, scab a wire onto the processor, but you may kill it in the process. All right, Fly Turbo on the board for 2. Thank you very much, buddy. Oh, let's see. A couple other things came in today. So my birthday's coming up, and my wife asked me what I want for my birthday, and I'm like, you're not going to want to get me what I want. I told her I wanted a one-wheel XR, and she, of course, is like, absolutely not. But I found a really, really affordable used one, and she's like, half. Pay for half. So, okay. So, no, you can't see it. Anyways, I bought a one-wheel XR, a used one, had like 30 miles on it. Super nice, really happy with it. It's on the 7th. So, got the one-wheel XR. My daughter's been riding the crap out of my Pint, and we're gonna kind of make that her board. So we bought some pink rail guards for it and whatnot. Got a few things, and it's not drone related, but it got some float plates. These go underneath the board to kind of protect the underside of the battery box and the controller box, and a new rear pad for it. I have the Cushnug High on my Pint, and I really enjoy the way that feels. So I went with the Cushnug High for the XR. It's got a big like concave dishness to it, and I really like the way that feels on my feet. Yeah, join the XR Master Race. Chris Croft, I like the Diatone Mamba FCs that I have, solder pads and ESC plugs. My ESC my quad ESC wasn't connecting even though it was wired up correctly, so just cuff plug and solder them on. Yeah, I love having the option of plugs and solders. When things were really developing this hobby, everything was plugs and everybody hated it. You had to put hot glue on it, otherwise they'll pop off. Then everything was solder pads only. Now we're going back to plugs again, which boggling. Yeah, once you put it in the bottle, mind-boggling. But now manufacturers are doing pads and connectors, which is the way to do it. Rob Logan Jr. just want to see if this RSSI from the receiver is worth it and if I could utilize it. Yeah, in your case, I wouldn't mess with it. Oh, I said that. Yep, join the XR gang. Rob Logan. Mike Bergman, you got the B30 mile XR. Yep. Yeah, I just have to love it when I'm playing. Yeah, comes together. XR is a great. It's a really good one wheel. Yeah, the wife's. She knows I'm just gonna buy it anyways. If at least I got a little bit of buy off on her. But I was talking to my daughter, my little 7-year-old. I'm like, hey, look at this. She's like, you should just buy that. I'm like, no, I can't. I got to get mom on board. She's like, just buy it anyways. Just buy it anyways. I'm like, well, you got to go ask her. I guess she went up and was like, Mom, Dad wants to buy this one wheel, and I was like, no, and she goes, you let him buy it. Let's see, you're going to put fangs on your XR and the pint fur. I have fangs for the pint. They were out of stock for a long time. They got sued by, or they got a cease and desist from Future Motion to stop selling their original fangs. They have a new version out. I just got that in for the pint. They're actually really nice, and it adds a grab handle to the front of the board, which isn't there on the pint. The pints come with the mag handle on the side, but no front grab handle. So it does add a little bit of handle. They're pretty nice. And I got the fangs coming for the XR as well. T-Bird $3.99. All right, man, let's go for it. I'll add you to the list. T-Bird on the board. Very nice. I just bought the mini fangs for my XR. I think I just bought the full-size fangs. Sorry, guys, if this is a live stream for 2 at this point. I'm sorry. Yeah, these are the ones that I just bought for mine. They don't hang out too far, and I don't plan on doing any serious off-road riding, but these look like they're pretty easy to take on and off. What is the best 20x20 stack that could be used with DJI? Well, let me get you a link to that. Yeah, iPlay's site sucks right now. What is with your site? So it's going to be the iFlight Sussex F7 F7 22D. There we go. Wow, that took way too long to find. Right here. Oh, man. Stupid link's too long. Alright, yeah, just type this into the Googler. That's my preferred 20x20 DJI compatible stack. Yeah, I'm really trying to avoid breaking a collarbone. E-Doc sounds like my 7-year-old. Yeah, my 7-year-old's got my sense of humor, and it's scary. Mike Bergman, yep, that's the one. What year? 1982. We're 39 this year. What's good mileage when looking for a used one wheel? Yeah, mileage isn't really a big deal. It's more or less how well it was cared for. It can have a lot of miles. It can have, 100 miles on it. It's nothing. It just depends on if they had put rail guards on it and float plates and stuff like that, and to keep it fresh. Whenever these things fall over, they always scrape the crap out of the sides of them, and the pads get all chewed up. That's really all I would be concerned with is if they put the protection on it when they got it. But 30 miles is like brand new, basically. I would say finding a one wheel that's under 100 miles, it was basically brand new. There is a company that rents one wheels. That also sells their used one. It's called Sup Rents, and they have used boards for sale. But if you're curious about one wheels, you can rent one from Sup Rents and just kind of get a feel for it. See if it's something that you're actually gonna be interested in before you plunk down the cash for one. But if you look around for a good deal, you can find some. You can find some good deals. Sup Rents, it's basically a discounted, slightly used one wheel. It almost makes it a trolley like EUCs, yeah. So for the uninitiated, EUCs, that stands for electric unicycle. Okay, Leston, is there any improvement in the 2.4 penetration by using Archer or Access? Nope. 2.4 is 2.4. You can't make it any better or worse. You can have more power output for just having a louder signal, but penetration is, it's a fact of, it's physics. You can't make 2.4 penetrate better or worse. You can make it louder by having more power outputs that it might actually find its way to its target through whatever obstacles there are, but that's something you can't change. The difference between Archer and Access, between the Access is just the way it handles the information that's going from the transmitter to the receiver. Access is faster because there was always a discongruency between the way OpenTX would send out the information, like, here's an update, here's a packet, here's a packet, here's a packet, and then the transmitter's like, there's a packet, there's a packet. Now with Access, the information and the packets come at the same time. If you look around, you'll see something called a heartbeat signal, and that is what tells the radio every time it's sending a packet out, so that the packets come at the same time as the information. So you're not getting old information with a new packet. They're transmitting at the same time. This is, in a very basic nutshell, what Crossfire shot is. It's timing the output of the radio with the output and the input and the output of the transmitter. It's just timing it, so you don't have this sort of thing going where the transmitting hand's going faster and the information's coming slower. I can't do this. I'm trying to. It's the anyways, yeah. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I'm trying to make it very basic. Petri, welcome. I think you were here last week. Welcome, man. Peter, thank you. Thank you for making that a lot easier for me. Thank you, Peter. From Hungary. Awesome. Marvin C, iFlight Sussex D, never had any problems with DJI. Yep, that's what I use in that, and that's what I use in my X class, is a Sussex, not a D, but a full-size Sussex. Wow, 82 was my guess. Yeah, good guess. 521 on my XR. Yeah, man. If you look at the leaderboards, there's people that have. Oh. See who has. All right. So the One Wheel app tracks user stats. What do you think the highest mileage one wheel rider has? If that makes sense. Not even close. Not even close. Yeah, One Wheel Wing is the king. 22,000 miles. 22,000 miles on a one wheel. It's crazy, man. I couldn't imagine that. You have to spend your entire life on it. Peter says, by the way, I managed to solve my VTX frequency difference problem on my eSheen 65 Pro. It was Betaflight 3.5. Interesting. I wonder how that would have done it. Upgrade, now the frequencies reported are the same. Well, good deal, man. Surprised you're on 3.5. Eric Allen, I got to get my hair cut. Good luck, everyone, on the wheel. Yeah, I'll let you know if you win. All right, man. See you around. Yeah. Anywho, so that's what's going on here. Yeah, I mean it's been a pretty blah week as far as quads go. Just the weather hasn't been great till today. I guess I could probably tease some of the footage from my receiver range testing. Would you guys like to see that? Since you're here, you know. 3.5 doesn't have configurable tables when it came on the stock. Yeah, it doesn't have configurable tables, so it just takes like just raw input at that point. It should have been easier. Interesting. Let's see. Get a 3-hour window tomorrow where the temperature is over low wind and high visibility. Good luck, man. T-Bird, do you have any data on Tracer 1 antennas versus 2? Range and failsafe. I want to put on a 75mm, but I don't want room for 2, or I don't have room for 2 antennas. So that is a big thing I don't like about Tracer, is that it's set up for 2 antennas, but I have heard that it will work just fine on 1, but you'll have more dead zone, which testing that is kind of what my my next stab at range testing was going to be. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's kill the music here. Pause that. See if I can stop. Nope. Move to here. Let's do. Nope, that's not what I want.
All right, this is the
stop. Let's add window capture. See if that works. All right. Nope, that doesn't work. Sorry guys, trying to figure out how to add this in here real quick. Oh, that's what I want, display capture. There we go. So just do a little bit of a teaser here. So this is with every one of these things maxed out, max power between Archer RS, Crossfire, Tracer, and R9MM. They're all max power output. I think the R9 was 1 watt, Tracer was ludicrous power, Crossfire was 250, and Archer there you can't adjust it. So this, consider this like entertainment only, because it's not a fair fight. I don't know. Can you guys hear this if I turn it up?
that is impressively farther. And there's R9.
There you go. By the way, $3 super chat giveaway today for a 1S serial board from Flying Sandal and a set of grips.
All right, everybody.
If you want to get on that, we'll probably spin that soon.
Who do we get back first? R9mm.
How's that?
Tracer and Crossfire doing battle. Tracer? Wow. Before Crossfire. And Crossfire. And we should get Archer back here. Just a second. There we go.
That was weird. I had a phone call in the middle of all that. But anywho, that is from the Max Power testing. All right, back to the live chat here. Let's see. Mentioned that Mobile 6 depletes batteries fast. It does make a huge difference switching to 48 kilohertz PWM frequency on the ESC. Makes a very big difference on that model. EDOC says you could scale them down. Yep, but if you're going to scale them down, then there's not a lot of point to getting the 25,000 kV motors, unless you just want to have the option. Robert love the receiver testing. Yeah, it's fun, but man, the people come out of the woodwork to complain about it. I tell you, there was a lot of comments I had to delete out of that video because they're just mean. I didn't like it. Let's see. This is a new test. Same board, I just recorded it in a different resolution, and it was yeah, a new test, same setup. Yeah, the LRS on R9 looks very promising. I definitely want to try that. It's going on the long list of things to do. I think at this point with the receiver testing, I'm actually going to start putting them in quads with rescue mode and flying them individually just to try it. Does YouTube frown on showing crypto addresses? Sounds like a better way to collect funds. I don't know. I don't know a lot about the whole crypto stuff, and I really don't get it. People have tried to explain it to me, and I still just don't get it. It seems like anybody who tries to explain crypto to me, it feels like friends that I had back in the late 90s that were trying to get me to go into a pyramid scam like Amway. I know it's not that, but that's how it feels like. People don't just dabble in it. It becomes their lifestyle. It becomes who they are as a cryptocurrency person. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I know there's lots of money to be made. I just don't understand it. I'm not a numbers guy. Same thing with this whole like stock trading thing going on with Robinhood and whatnot. Like I don't get it. It seems really shitty the way things went down, but yeah. Best explanation. Imagine idling your car for days on end. Solve Sudokus that you could trade for heroin. That actually makes sense. Oh. Oh, that's funny. All right, guys. Well, I just got a text message from the wife. She said she's on the way home. So we are going to spin this this giveaway wheel for the 1S serial board from Flying Sandal. Very cool little thing if you're in the Whoop game. PH 2.0, serial charging, not parallel. So it should work on just about any charger out there. And a set of custom cut radio grips. I do have colors and patterns that I don't have listed on my Etsy. Every once in a while somebody says, hey, can you do like a galaxy pattern? I'm like, yeah, I can do that. And you know, I have some rando stuff sitting around that some people might like. But anyways, if you want to get on that super chat wheel, now's your chance. We'll spin this sucker in about 2 minutes here, and we'll start winding down. Anyways, I'm glad you all came out today. I really appreciate it. I love doing the live streams. I like this more than just the old school raw YouTube video stuff. I would love to do, I was thinking about doing a live unboxing of this, but I need content for the YouTube algorithm. I'll be honest, there is a science behind it. You have to do multiple uploads consistently every week. I was trying to do 2 a week back when I was doing the iGao stuff, which was easy. I did a review or a tech thing on like a Wednesday, a iGao on a Saturday, and a live stream. Works really good. I do like this time of day for the live stream. I've just been getting lucky for the last 3 weeks to be able to do this. Wife and kid are out of the house for a couple hours. That's why the start time's kind of random. But if I can't do it at this time, it'll usually be 9:45 on a Saturday at night. My time. Central time. Yeah, less editing, dude. You have no idea. The editing isn't a pain in the butt. It's the stupid thumbnail. I hate making the thumbnail. I hate the thumbnail. And then the text in the YouTube video, I've gotten lazy with it. It's just the same thing over and over, and I put a little blurb in the beginning. I know I should do more, but you know, the YouTube burnout, it's real. I'll be honest, I am kind of burned out on it, but I'm not going to stop it. There's too many people out there that need help and need someone to turn to when their builds go sideways. Oh, Mike Bergman, perfect. All right, guys, let's spin this wheel here. Let's get over to the wheel. There we go. Let's go ahead and mix this up for everybody. All right, guys, thanks for coming by and all the positive thoughts. Really enjoy it. And let's spin this thing. Good luck, everybody. There we go. Who's it going to be? It's going to be... It starts again. Light Turbo Quad, congratulations. Hit me up. tweetfpv.com. You'll find a YouTube or a Gmail link in there, or you can just tweetfpv@gmail.com, and we'll get that straightened out. Thank you so much. The YouTube, the thumbnail with the donkey was your best. That's not a donkey, that's a horse. But she acts like a donkey. I can't remember who it was commented on my Shadow Fiend video. I went on a little jag about how much I can't stand horses, and they said, okay, got it. Quad's not bad, but I think I'll skip on the horses for now. If that's all anybody gets out of that video, I've done my job. Long way around, think about it this way. What killed Superman? It was a horse. It took a while, but it was a horse. You know what? I'm going to go... We're going to do this right now. Let's fix that. Let's fix this. Thank you so much. Where is that video at? There we go. Hashtag it's a horse. fix that. You know what? Mike Bergman, you are 100% correct. Horses aren't terrible. The people that come along with them are generally rough. My wife used to do horse shows, and my mother and my sister do a lot of horse showing. It's an arms race. Who has the most amount of money that they can throw at shiny shit to put on a horse? That's what it comes down to. It's an arms race. .00009 bitcoins, roughly. Yeah. Oh, they're better than you, and they know it. And then they get really uppity about the discipline, like, oh, I do dressage, or I'm Western, and like they hate each other, but yet they're still on the same dumb animal. She doesn't do horse stuff anymore, and she never really showed. It was more or less like, she did it a few times, but she was a trainer for a couple people, and she broke horses, and she did some dressage lessons, like real low level, just enough to get people into the sport so they can be safe on a horse. Our horses are super low maintenance. They're out in the field. They have no barn. They have a little shelter that they can go under. Even when we lived up in northern Michigan, we didn't blanket them. We didn't bring them in at night. They had stalls to go into. These dumb sons of bitches would stand on top of a hill with a 40-knot wind at negative 30 degrees, just looking miserable as shit. They can go in the barn if they want. They just choose not to. Yeah, I've seen some scary shit with her breaking horses. Horses trying to flip over backwards with her on top of them. Yeah. And the two we have, the Shetland, that one's name's Gert, and the big, I think she's a Dutch warm blood cross or Frisian Dutch warm blood, but she's like a midget. That's Scarlet. She needs a job. She just likes to mess with things, and they break fences. That's about all they do. They break fences, eat money, shit problems. If anybody says horses, I want you to remember that. Eat money, shit problems. Yeah, it can be scary. But my daughter, she'll ride them a little bit here and there, just kind of on a line. Bigger version of a cat and more temperamental. I've never seen something that can walk around a tarp on the ground, and then as soon as the tarp moves a little bit, they freak out like it's trying to kill them. Just the explosive, unknown nature of a horse always bothered me. I prefer motorcycles. If I want it to stop, it stops. And when I don't want to ride it, it doesn't consume money. But yeah, we do the horse thing very, very simplistic. They can exist in nature by themselves. They don't need us messing with them. All right, folks. I think that's going to do it for tonight. I really enjoyed this. Thank you all for coming by. This is a hell of a lot of fun for me. I wish I could live stream more often, to be honest with you. But once a week's about all I'm going to be able to do for this foreseeable future until maybe this summer. We'll see. Everybody came by. Thank you so much. Who was it? Fly Turbo Quad, please email me. Anybody who needs tech help, has questions, buying advice, you name it, tweetfpv.com, find that Discord link, go over to Discord. My Discord is free to use. I do have a Patreon-only room in Discord. If you want to be part of that, go to my Patreon. $2 a month gets you in the door for everything. I do monthly giveaways. I announce them over on Discord. Wink, wink. Once a month. I've got stuff for days lined up, and yeah, man, I really enjoy this. Thank you so much. Everyone hit that thumbs up. Yeah, Mike Bergman, doing the good work over there. All right, guys. Well, I got to get upstairs and I got to go make dinner. And if anybody wants to meet up that's in the local area, hit me up, tweet fpv@gmail.com or on Discord. Again, every second Saturday of the month, we race the multi-GP group, Delta 5. You can find us on Facebook, and we race over at Battleship Park, where the USS Alabama and the Drum are parked, moored up. Sorry, gotta use nautical terms. All right, guys. Thanks for stopping by, and I shall see you all next time. Stay safe.